See, there you go. And we have some of the contractors who've done some of the good work here, employing Long Islanders. Thomas Montalbine from Roman Stone, Joseph Densiecki from Wastewater Works, and Megan Larson from Shelter Island Sand, Gravel, and Contracting. So I hope I got everybody. Did I get everyone, Garrett?
Adriana from Direct Drainage, also a contractor.
Adriana. Barry, that easy part, finally. After Densiecki and Montalbine, Barry is good. Any Smiths here? Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so I want to thank everyone for being here, and we're here today because there's been a lot of confusion across the communities in Suffolk County. And I am here to demand answers and get the IRS to fix this problem and help these homeowners breathe a sigh of relief. I've gotten letters and calls. I understand your concerns, everyone's concern. So we have homeowners, we have contractors, we have Suffolk County officials, and we're all on the same side, which is very simple, that the IRS should not tax people when they get help from the state or the county to improve their homes. Plain and simple. It's a good thing to improve your home. It's a good thing for the home, and it's a good thing for our great aquifer here throughout Long Island, which provides beautiful drinking water, one of the great assets of Long Island. And because Suffolk has not had a sewage system in large parts of it and has used septic tanks, that's always been a problem. I worked very hard in Sandy to get over $300 million federal dollars to help Suffolk County upgrade septic tanks and put in some sewage systems in certain communities on the south shore of Suffolk. So we're all here to get cleaner water, to make sure the nitrogen doesn't get into the water, and to have it done in a fair and equitable way. And that's what I'm trying to enforce. The folks with me are trying to do the right thing for the county and the local environment, and they're scratching their heads, saying what's going to happen with Suffolk's septic improvement program called SIP. The head scratch. Why? Why are people worried? Because unfortunately the IRS has swooped into Suffolk County. And no matter how they get their nose into our septic problems, they're now involved. And until we get an answer from them, they're hovering. They haven't done the damage yet, but they're close enough that they could. And my job is to stop them from doing that damage. So everyone knows a little bit about this issue, but let me give you the elevator version. So the county put together a very innovative septic grant program, and that's funded with public dollars as it should be. And we want people to join because it takes nitrogen out of the waterways and preserves this beautiful Long Island aquifer. And even if your house doesn't have a septic tank, buy it or that's in bad shape, one nearby could cause water problems for you. So we want everyone to join in. We encourage people to join this program because it's a win-win. It's a win for the homeowner. They get to improve their house and home, and it's a win for the county because they get to improve the water supply and keep it free of nitrogen. So we don't want this win-win to turn into a lose-lose. The grant program is what's called a regional benefit. It reduces the pollution in Long Island waters. And we've all learned over the years that that's a good thing. It's a good thing because at Long Island here we depend on our waters for drinking with the amazing aquifer. I think it's the largest in the country. We depend on our waters for recreation. We depend on our waters for fishing and, you know, the kinds of things that we'd like to see flourish again, the clamming and the boating, and, you know, lobster is gone, but all kinds of things like that. It makes Long Island the beautiful place that it is. So we are here today to say to the IRS, you cannot consider voluntary septic upgrades as personal income. The contractors are paying the tax bill. So to demand it of homeowners, the federal government would get a double payment. Okay, Garrett, that's a good idea. Here's the tax bill. What I'm saying is this. Already, and no one disputes this, the contractors, and they're happy to do it. They pay the tax when they get the benefit. Nowhere in the country has the IRS made homeowners pay that tax. And the Suffolk County program was modeled after programs in Illinois and several other states where the IRS did not collect taxes of homeowners. And so we don't want them to do it here. I know there's been a little bit of political back and forth as to who's to blame for this in an anomalous, unusual situation, but I'm not going to get into finger pointing here. I'm going to say, as a federal official, I want the IRS to simply back off. They've never done this before. They shouldn't do it now. And I will work with the county and the regional people and the homeowners to make sure that doesn't happen. It's not that the federal government will lose money. In fact, they'd be doubly enriched if they made both the contractor and the homeowner pay the tax on an improvement that benefits not just their home, but benefits the whole county, and was done as a public good. It was if, you know, they improved your road, and then they made you pay a tax because your road is better. That's not how it works. It's as if they built a park down the way. They said, oh, your community's better, you're paying a tax. Makes no sense. But somehow the IRS has gotten its sticky fingers involved here. We're not saying they're going to do it, but they haven't said they won't do it. Until they say they won't do it, these homeowners are going to be worried. My job is to get them to say they won't do it. I'm going to do my best there, and everyone can breathe a collective sigh of relief. Let's do it. Garrett didn't think that one up. I did. Okay, so where's the bills? Okay. Here's the bills that, whose house is
That was
this?
for Dorothy. She's not here today.
This is Dorothy's bill.
And they have their bills.
It's not their bill, it's their form.
If you look to your left, they have theirs.
You have yours too. So that's what they're worried about, because they received these forms and now they're worried, should they fill them out, should they not?
I did.
And you did. There you go. It's all filled out. They should not pay the tax. Period. No ands, ifs, or buts. I'm here to make it clear to Uncle Sam. You aren't losing money when a Suffolk County homeowner participates in a grant program that helps the entire region and which they were encouraged to do. They're not doing this for their own enrichment. They certainly want to improve their property. So it makes no sense. We've had public improvements all along, and we've never seen the IRS tax you for public improvements. Okay? These guys are willing to pay the tax.
We have already.
And you have already. That's how it's always been. And they get that. They're getting business. They're getting money to dig and make things better. You pay a tax on that, but not the homeowners. So let me give you the numbers here. Okay. The Septic Grant Program has 1,731 applicants. 6 have withdrawn their applicants because of the IRS issue, and more are considering it. I'm telling people, don't withdraw yet. Let's see what we can get done from the IRS quickly and as soon as we can. There have been 102 installations to date. There are now 121 pending installations that are being jeopardy. So that's hundreds of people all holding their breath, waiting to hear what the IRS will do. So I'll do everything I can to help the Brennans and many people like them. And are you going to say something, Mrs. Brennan or Mr. Brennan?
They said they want me to say something.
I do. They is me.
They is you. Oh, thank you. We moved here 21 years ago, and actually we came to look at the property, and as we approached the back gate, a family of ducks went swimming by, quacking. It was the most beautiful thing we'd ever seen. We're both Long Islanders. We've lived here our whole lives, and we saw this and said, that's it, we have to live here. And a couple of months later, we got married from this house. I retired from teaching. Unfortunately, my husband got hurt, and he had to leave work too. He worked for Con Edison. We love the environment. We recycle everything. We don't put anything dangerous on the lawn. We take care of the cove. He climbs over there and takes garbage out of the water. We feed the ducks. We do everything that we're supposed to do. We used to have ducks knock on our side door if we didn't feed them early enough in the morning. They would actually hit it with their beak. And when we read about this program...
I hope you quacked down on that.
No, we didn't quack down on it. We would feed them. But it was so cute. They'd actually come to the side door if we were late and they'd hit the door. And we heard about the program, read about it in the paper, and I, checked out all the companies, and Joe was the one that came and installed it. And we were very happy with it. We put a whole new lawn in afterwards because we had no lawn left after that. And, we did it because we care. And I was shocked. We were getting ready to go to see our accountant, and I get this and the funny thing is, the 1099 was only in my name, not his. And we went and we paid it. We did our civic duty. We paid the extra money to Uncle Sam, and it bothered us because for years we always get money back, and all of a sudden we're paying them. And it didn't make any sense to us. But she explained to us that, well, you're now in another tax bracket because of the $10,000.
Nope. Well, we're going to try to get that undone.
I hope so. Can you get my money back?
We'll try. You
Okay,
bet.
that's good.
Okay.
And that's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming here today.
Okay.
Can we have your name, please? Sorry.
Josephine and Howard Brennan.
Brennan, just like you spell the famous Brennan and Cars in my neighborhood in Brooklyn. Why don't you hear that place?
No, did you? No.
Great steak and beer place.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now we have, who's going to speak first? Bridget Fleming, who's a Suffolk County legislator.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator, for gathering us all here. Yes, I am a Suffolk County legislator, and I co-sponsored a lot of this legislation. Just to put a little context here, we in Suffolk County are facing an alarming trend in our drinking water and the surface water, the bays, rivers, and harbors that support our basic industries. The Great South Bay once supported 6,000 good jobs and supplied half of the nation's hard-shell clams. In Greenport, we once produced 2.5 million bushels of oysters per year. That's $60 million in current market value. The brown tide first appeared in 1985, and since that time, we've lost 36% of our critical wetlands and seagrass that protect us against extreme weather events that are increasing under climate change. The County of Suffolk undertook an aggressive program to recognize this problem that we've known since 1985 and to do something about it. We set up the first sanitary code revisions in 30 years. We set up the regulatory mechanism that would allow for the research and development of these nitrogen removing systems. And we set up a carefully crafted, robust grant and loan program that would assist homeowners not to suffer the tax burden and the financial burden of doing the right thing, as Mrs. Brennan said, and putting in nitrogen removing systems. We took great care by touring other states that had set up these programs, by recruiting staff from other states that had successful programs, and by designing the process by which the grants are provided to the installers and homeowners precisely as it's been done in other states. As you mentioned, Senator, in Maryland for 10 years, they've been doing it this way without any objection from the IRS. Very importantly, these funds are designed to offer a region-wide benefit. The homeowners do not exercise dominion and control over these funds. The program decides who the installers are that can install them, the specifications by which the installations have to be done. The program itself has access to this home on a regular basis in order to ensure that the maintenance and operations of the systems are complying with those nitrogen reducing goals. The homeowners do not have dominion and control. The IRS has clearly spoken in the past that this means it should not be part of the gross income of the homeowners. The installers, as a regular course of business, who are getting the checks themselves, are paying these taxes. These taxes are the gross income of the installers, not the Brennans or the Claps or any of the homeowners who, as Mrs. Brennan said, is doing it because she cares. They're doing the right thing to install these systems for a region-wide basis in a crisis of nitrogen pollution. So thank you, Senator, for your support. I thank County Executive Steve Ballone and Deputy County Executive Peter Scully and his entire team in the Health Department, as well as my colleagues on the legislature, including Rob Calarco, whose district we're in, for their great support of this important program. We ask the IRS to recognize that this is not gross income to the homeowners. As you say, back off, and we'll do our job and make sure that the homeowners continue to get the support they need.
Great.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. And last but not least, we have one of the contractors, Thomas Montalbine.
Very good, yes. Thank you. I'd like to address a different aspect than the senator and legislator. As a business manufacturer in Suffolk County, we've been in business for over 115 years in New York State. And with this program, we initially got involved back in 2013, 2014, and we've been gearing up all this time. As it's starting to take off, all of a sudden, in the middle of this robust economy where we're starting to hire people and bringing more people to manufacture tanks and do installations, all of a sudden this 1099 issue comes up. And we've heard from some of our potential customers that they don't want to get taxed on this, and it's going to be a big problem for us. We're hiring people, and we don't know whether to step on the gas pedal or to slow down. So it's a big problem for manufacturing. We're paying living wage jobs, union jobs, and at this point, we don't know which way to go. We're waiting to hear what the IRS is going to do.
Great. Stay right here. I want my folks to get the homeowner, the legislator, and the contractor in a picture. Yes. Great. Go ahead. So we can put this on our website, and a picture's 1,000 words, as you may have heard somewhere or other. Okay, questions on this subject?
Has the IRS indicated how long they would take to rule, or if in fact they will rule at all?
I think we can get we have precedent in so many places where they've never charged a tax. And as you know, a form was sent out here. That was probably a mistake. I'm not going to get into those details here, but I think we can get them to back off quickly.
So have they given a timeline, months?
Not yet. No, that's why we're hitting away at them starting. We just started last week.
Do you want to weigh in about the comptroller's decision?
No, I'm not going to get into finger pointing here. Other people have done that. There's a political campaign going on. I'd rather keep this out of the politics and get it done.
But you're saying a formal ruling from the IRS?
I don't even think you need a formal ruling. All you need is a letter saying that we're keeping our policy, we're not charging tax, and we're going to return the tax, the extra tax that anyone paid. That's all we need. We don't need a long formal ruling process because they've never done this before. It's not that we have to reverse a rule.
May I just note that a private letter ruling has been requested, and the comptroller has assured us that he will not issue additional 1099s before he receives a ruling based on that request.
How many had he issued?
59.
59. Okay. We don't want any more to be issued. That's a very good thing. They shouldn't have been issued in the first place, to be honest with you. Okay?
How much are these grants, and how much taxes did you wind up paying?
How much did you guys end up paying?
Almost $1,500.
Yeah.
It's between $1,000 and $2,500 of grants that go up to $11,000.
And look, that's a lot of money for a middle-class homeowner.
Our grant was $10,000. And then we also took out a
3 months of
loan to pay for
daycare.
the rest.
Yep.
So how much was the system total?
26,000 of that, I think it was, something like that. Some of the money was out of our pocket, and 10,000
Okay.
was from the county, and 10,000 we took out a loan.
Okay? Now, I have to go. I know Mueller issued a statement. Some of you want something. I'm going to be very brief because I have to study it. This gets a little political, so if you want to clear out, you don't have to be here. That's your call. Okay? If you want to be, you can. Okay. I want to comment on one part of the Mueller statement. I'm still digesting the statement, but one thing is clear. Russia attempted successfully to interfere in our elections. We cannot let any foreign country interfere in our elections, whether it be Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, Turkey, or anyone else. That eats at the wellspring of our democracy. And so it is incumbent on the President and our Republican leadership in the Senate to provide the money that's needed to help our election boards protect themselves so there's no further collusion in 2020. It's clear as a bell, whatever side you're on politically, that Russia interfered. It's also clear as a bell, if we sit here and do nothing, it's going to be worse in 2020. Faith in democracy will erode, and that's very bad for America. The Democrats in the Senate want to put more money and give money to the localities so they can prevent collusion. So they can prevent interference, and it should be done. This report, there's a lot of other things in it which I may comment on later, but this report is a wake-up call. We must get right on the horse, Johnny on the pony, and do everything we can to stop Russia from interfering in the 2020 election, because it's clear as a bell they did in 2016. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Okay? I don't know if you wanted to be part of that, so I said.
Thank you for helping us with
Thank
our
you,
water
everybody.
problems.
Okay, I'm gonna just walk to my chair.
Okay, sure.